Hey, what's up, family? Yahuah is Taub. Who knows? I may be passing through a town near you soon. Let me know where you're watching from. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, mashpaka. Watchman Yirmiyahu, Qadashayam of Yasharal. Just wanted to touch base. It's been a minute since I had any activity really on the channel, and we just been really busy. It was really appreciate any palals that you guys offer up, lifting up my household and me, your brother, to Abba Yahuah, because we are entering into some pretty significant changes in our life. The timing is always amazing how Yahuah works. I really didn't think that we would ever move from the spot we're at, and I didn't think that I would be entering into another line of work because of the imminence of the end, just how things are going. The manifestations of the prophecies coming to fruition, and the rate at which everything is, coming into place. I didn't think that there was going to be enough time for any of those kinds of changes, and maybe there's not still. That's also why I want to ask you guys to palal for us, and I want you guys to know that we palal for you all as well. We're palaling for all of our siblings, for the family, for the mashpaka, and it's actually kind of exciting too, because I've been looking at making a change in what I'm doing for work. I don't, some of you may realize and know that I have a regular full-time job, and I also have a side hustle, food delivery, that that I do, and stay really busy with it. I mean, 40 hours at the regular job, and then sometimes as much as 26 to 30 hours also in the other job. And that's been wearing me out. It's pretty exhausting. We don't have a choice because we need the money. Everything is so expensive, as you guys all know, with the inflation and everything that the beast is doing. I want to talk about that a little bit too. But so I looked into this, I should say, my beautiful Asha, and I Yapa Asha. Yapa Asha. Been looking into this RV transport industry, because we have been baruked with a strong truck. We used to have an even larger truck, but we couldn't afford to keep it, and then we went for quite a long time without a truck at all. And then now we thankfully have been able to get into a 3500 HD. It's a long bed, and it's a beautiful truck. It's also very expensive, and it has a lot of work potential, and I haven't been able to really use it for work. So that's why I'm looking at this. It obviously does involve a lot of travel and crossing state lines, you know, seeing the countryside. So it's exciting, but it's also a little bit intimidating, right? I'm sure that once I'm able to log, you know, several trips and you know, more miles, then it'll become much easier. But anytime there's something new, then it's a little intimidating. But I'm not brand new to towing. You know, we have the RV that we have is really long, about 43 feet. It's also really heavy, probably around 18,000 pounds. So it is the kind of thing that if you were working for a transport company and you wanted to move that trailer, you would need special licensing. You would need like a CDL to do it, because the weight is too much. So I won't even be able to necessarily haul trailers as large as the one that we own ourselves. And you know, I may post information and videos about these adventures on this channel. This channel isn't really about that. It's really about the scriptures. It's about our Father in heaven, Yahuah, and our Mashiach, Yahusha, as you know, the regular subscribers are well aware. But this is going to become a big part of the daily routine and our, you know, our adventures. So it's also pretty interesting. Like, I've been watching a lot of videos and paying attention to, you know, what people have to say about it, what it pays, what the different type of expenditures are, you know, how to stay safe, and plus just being able to see Yahuwah's creation, just to get out into the open road and the open spaces. So if you're a regular subscriber on this channel, I would really appreciate it if you would leave a comment and let me know, like, what your thoughts are about me sharing that type of content. You know, just on the road rants, or also just you know, video of different places. I'm not going to be in this line of work for leisure and for fun and for sightseeing, but it's a perk, it's a bonus, it's a benefit that you get to go and see all those types of things. I remember when we traveled from Florida to Washington in 2020, and it was so much fun. It was a really great adventure. Yes, it was stressful. Yes, it was expensive. But when it was over, I remember thinking, man, imagine if we could just do that as a regular lifestyle, just traveling around, going to different sites. And, you know, as it is now, we're full-time in our RV, but we've been parked in the same place for like 4 years or more. Baruk Yahuah for allowing us to have a place like that to call home. We're very thankful for that. But this should, Abba willing, if he Baruk it, be a means for us to pay off debt and earn, you know, more return, more per hour. It's kind of interesting because we had started the process of launching a company to do bookkeeping and taking bookkeeping courses. And, you know, we got a name for the company, Narrow Path Books. But now we really feel like it's Narrow Path Transport Company. So we already have the name, and we pretty much have a logo, and can make a few little changes, and we can look to write off huge portions of our expenditures. You know, so I'm really excited about the opportunity to try to be profitable in a business and having all those deductions where, you know, Uncle Sam, as they say, is burdening some of the load. And I'm not naive to the B system, as you guys know, so I don't feel like there's ever a situation in economics and finances and taxes and whatnot where the house doesn't win, so to speak. Ultimately, Yahuwah wins, Baruk Yahuah, but this government is always going to find their way to get their piece of the pie to hold us down. You know, and you have to follow regulations for logging your hours and your miles, so you have restrictions and regulations on, you know, how long you're allowed to drive and how many hours before, you know, you need to get rest and different things. So it's a lot to learn, you guys, and it's pretty exciting. I have had some thoughts about sharing my experience thus far with onboarding with different companies that are out here, and who's been difficult to deal with and who's been smooth to deal with, and, you know, how they stack up against one another with their different rates and different perks and things that they offer. That may come. But for now, I really just wanted to let you guys know that we are well, and Abba willing, I will be live tomorrow for the Shabbat, and that we're getting ready to open up this new chapter in our lives, and that it may very well result in us relocating. And I am very interested in moving closer to my beloved Ach, and we are in Palal about that as well, because we know that Yahuwah will do mighty things. You know, he moves mountains to make a way for his people. A path in the wilderness, a narrow path, if you will. Hallelujah. So, yeah, please let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. And, you know, lift us up in your petitions to his throne, because Yahusha HaMashiach is mighty to deliver his people, and he fights for us, and he covers us, and there isn't anything in this life that I want to do apart from him. And so, you know, I'm excited. I know that my Basha is excited too. It's been stressful at times, but we're also growing in how we work together, how we communicate, and how we get through the different types of issues that we have that are, you know, our own insecurities and past trauma and all the things, you know. So, Abba willing, may I see you here on the Shabbat for the live, and I'm excited to see what Yahuwah puts in front of us scripturally, because I have been so busy. I have not made any types of preparations for it. And that's okay, because actually some of the best Shabbat assemblies that we have ever had were completely raw like that. Just turn on the camera, let people come in, gather together, and just go wherever Yahuwah leads us. It is such a wondrous thing to have Yahuwah, the creator and sustainer of all things, and his Ruach directing our steps and leading us. And I guess I want to share one other little nugget with you guys. So at my current place of employment, one of my coworkers takes the ferry. You know, they got a ferry system out here in the Puget Sound. And from the ferry, you can see the port and you can see the shipping containers that are coming in and out of the Seattle ports. And there's, I know, a lot of chatter about this on the internet. So I asked her about it. And hey, have you seen it? You know, it's oh, you know, why? What do you mean? And I was like, oh, because there's people on the internet saying that it's empty and there's nothing and all this. So she went and took a bunch of pictures, and there was not a shipping container ship in front of those cranes at all. It was completely clear. So I see some people making the claim, and I see other people trying to debunk it, that it's not true. And I'll just say that based on a witness taking pictures from the Puget Sound on this past Friday, which I guess would have been May maybe 2nd or something. I'd have to check a calendar, but probably like around May 2nd. There was nothing. And so this is not shocking to me or surprising to me. And if you've been listening or following along here, you know that I've been saying that the beast has his hand on the throat. It's like he's got his hand wrapped around the throat and he's just ready to squeeze. And I also think that the current commander-in-chief is fitting a lot of the almost like love interests of the kingdom of darkness, being their golden dawn. And so there's definitely more coming from him, and we have not heard the last of BHO either. I know that. So as always, family, right? Head on a swivel. Walk in righteousness and purity. Cleanse your camp. You know, males, lead your house well. And strive to stay on that narrow path, family. The way, the truth, and the life. Yahusha HaMashiach. Hallelujah Yahuah. Baruk Yahuah. Much ahaba to you and your household. Baruk Atah and Bahasham Okal Shamut, the name above all names. Ahaya Ahar Ahaya, the great I am, that I am. Yahuwah. Shalom, family. Shalom. By the power and will of Yahuwah, Yahusha, the Messiah, the one who we love him because he first loved us, right? Because while we were yet enemies at enmity with the Most High, he humbled himself, he took on flesh, he took on the role of a servant, he lived a perfect, righteous, or Qadash life. He willingly laid his life down, no one took it from him. He bore our iniquities on his body. He was impaled on a tree. He was in the tomb 3 days, and he rose again in power, in sovereignty, in majesty, in all esteem. All esteem, Yahusha. Yahusha comes in the name of the Father, Yahuwah. Baruk is he who comes in the name of the Most High. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You'll also find the email in the description of all YouTube videos. So send us a message, a praise report, a prayer request. Much love.